All right, well, welcome back. I'm doing the ppotty 6-hour challenge today. I'm going to see if I can get a knife made in 6 hours. I'll show you the challenge. The parameters are it needs to be 6 to 9 inches, needs to be from a leaf spring, and be heat treated. My chickens are, all 2 of them are out here, harassing me. Anyway, gonna make it out of this piece of leaf spring here. Probably going to cut it off here, forge it out, draw it out. I'm going to try for the 9-inch, right around there. Going to do some chopping challenges, go through hardwood, rope, ice chop, and all of that good stuff. But in 6 hours, supposed to have the knife hardened, handle, finished, ready to go. So I'm going to make a small camp chopper. I mean, if 9 inches is small, but anyway, get started. And it's been 3 weeks, I think, since I put up a video, and part of the reason is I've been super busy, but the weather's been terrible. We have like snow and freezing. I mean, it's been down to, I don't know, 10, 7, 11 degrees, something like that, over and over. And so where I have this outdoor shop, it's a little bit tougher. And then on top of that, I've had a couple kids come over and forge, and they've made some knives and learned how to forge a little bit and do some other things. So that's taken part of my time. Anyway, this is my clock. It's just my phone. So it's 11:38. I'm going to start in 2 minutes. I hope you can see that. 11:38. Whoop, nope, it's completely black. Never mind. There we go, somewhere in there, 11:38, get the glare off of it, you can see the snow. Okay, so I'll start in a couple minutes, leave the phone over here so you can see it all the time, it'll update. Alright, the forge is in the background, you can hear it's warming up. I got a piece of steel in there, got my hardy cutter here, gonna lop off a little bit of that and kind of mess around with it. Okay, now this is what I've been working on lately. This is a piece of wrought iron that I've had for a while. You can see I'm starting to form this down. Form the cheeks here next. Leave the center, wrap it around, make a Viking axe of some sort out of this. This is pretty great stuff to forge. Here's some mild steel. I'm going to make a little different style of Norwegian axe. So if anybody gets mad that it's not, totally Viking style, but it's going to be ppotty is the guy on YouTube that I've been following. And he does this kind of folded axe. I'm going to do the same. It's going to be a couple 2 or 3 piece, laminations in there. Draw that out and make a smaller axe out of this, kind of a splitting type axe. It's going to be like a hewing super battle axe or something. I don't know. But anyway, next thing you'll see me cutting this, and then I'll start drawing this out, forging it for the 6-hour challenge. I didn't warm the forge up beforehand. I thought, hey, I'll just make that part of it. I'm going to see if I can't get this done in, 5 hours or so, not counting the annealing process. And if that takes too long, I'll just anneal it with a torch, so I don't even have to mess with it. Anyway, hang in there. Be right back. Okay, so you'll notice now I have a different piece of steel in my hand. Oh yeah. Apparently I'm the worst video recorder in the history of video recording because I hit record and turned it off, and anyway, I recorded walking around instead of recording actually forging the other piece. Now you notice the first piece of steel is sitting on the stump there at the foot of the anvil. Now what I had to do is start over. That piece there developed a bunch of cracks and fissures all running all throughout it, and that's one of the dangers of using spring steel. You don't know what it's been through, or don't exactly know what alloys are involved in that. Anyway, so I just cut a new piece with the angle grinder, threw it in there and got started. Here I am beveling it, going for a Bowie camp choppery-ish kind of thing. That's my Japanese hammer, the first hammer that I made. I hated that hammer at first. Now I love it. I want to marry it. I love it so much. I took this piece here, stretched it out to 9 inches. I think it's about 8 3/4, just barely under the parameters there. I've marked the length of it on my anvil, so that's what I'm checking here. And just got a little ruler, measurements marked down the edge there. And anyway, sometimes things go wrong, so I did have to start this knife all over again. Can't remember how far in I was. I thought I recorded it on my phone, all that good stuff. Apparently I didn't. We're in about, I don't know, 17 hours or something. No, I'm just kidding. About hour and a half is when I had to start all over again. Okay, so here's the blade, folks. I ground it down. You can see the bevels there a little bit, I think. Got the handle here, drilled the pinholes for it. This other side, did a little bit of grinding there to get those pinholes to punch through and line up. Got a little blood on it right there, which is awesome. We'll just bake it in. Dedicated to the blood of our ancestors or something, of the enemies we defeated or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to quench it now. And then once I do that, I'll show you the clock and we'll take it. Alright, it's 4:21. Had a little mishap inside there. I fell asleep. That's what happens when you sit down and take a nap. Anyway, been in the oven. My daughter's accidentally changed the temperature, made it a little extra too hot there, but I'm going to go with it. It was on 440 instead of 400, so it shouldn't affect it that much. Should just make it extra tough. Maybe not the best for the edge. Just a little file on it. We're good here. I'm going to go ahead and just hit this with the grinder right here. Take any oil, anything that's left from the oven, anything like that on there. Just knock that off real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach the handles. I'll have it set up here. I don't know if you can see. Got a little Viking knife going here, throwing knife. Let's see here, horse head bottle opener, in case you need one of those. Got a puko knife here that I need to work on. Kiridashi that I made. So here's another knife for some punk kid that wants one. Here's a knife that my buddy has been working on. One of my students here that he's working on. Anyway, give me a second and we'll attach some handles to this bad boy. Okay, so at this point I've hogged out most of the handle on this 50 grit sanding belt. Taking this thing off of here and putting a brand new 150 on. Now with wood especially, you want newer belts or brand new belts, because once it touches steel, it's just not good for wood anymore. You need those sharp cutting carbides on there. This 150 takes it to a pretty smooth finish with a 220 belt here in a bit. And anyway, the grinding part, I should wear a mask, I'm sure, but out here the wind was blowing. and I don't breathe because I'm a vampire, and so I just don't need to breathe. I stop breathing for a couple hours while I'm grinding that on this grinder. But, in all seriousness, I should have a mask somewhere. Okay, so the handle's done. I decided to go ahead and just touch up the bevels just a little bit. This is pretty much a flat grind that goes up about 3/4 of an inch or so on the blade, maybe about 1 inch. And then on that grind, then it's got a secondary bevel, so it should be a pretty strong knife. I took it down to about half the thickness of a dime, I believe, and then I don't know how many thousandths that is, but doesn't seem like much. And then ground the secondary bevel in. As you can see here, one, I'm learning how to record a little bit better on the grinding belt, so you guys can see. But anyway, throwing off some pretty good sparks here. A lot of times when I'm first grinding in initially, they won't have those super wide sparks like that because I'll just be using the edge to kind of define the geometry of the knife. Here I am just taking small sections at one time, trying to hold my elbows into my side, moving my whole body, keeping everything steady moving instead of just grinding away on it. Now this belt here, it's designed for wood. It's not taking a whole lot of steel off. It's making some pretty sparks, but it's pretty slow going. I'm going to go back and just kind of touch up a couple parts there of the steel where the handle meets. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, what I'm doing here is just grinding in that secondary bevel. You can't see it very well, and I'll learn to move the camera where you can or zoom in a little bit better. But see me testing the edge there. All I'm doing is about a 25 degree angle, I think. Just Just go from side to side, trying to create that burr, and then I'll put it down on the table here, remove that burr, and then go back through it again. Make sure it's sharp. Here in a little bit, you'll see me turn a belt around backwards and do a little buffing and get it sharp. Even sharper, use that as a strop. What is it, girl? What is it, lady? Alright, this is where you see me turn that belt around, turn it over backwards, and just use the cloth part of that belt on the back. In between there where the platen ends and the wheels, just a little bit of slack spot, and so I'll use that as a power buffer instead of a leather strop or power strop or whatever you want to call it. I put a little compound on there and just go to town until it is sharp. And believe me, folks, it is sharp. You'll see me kind of looking at the edge there, make sure I get this correct spot. Buffing out just a little bit of the handle there because this works great on buffing the wood too. I mean, seriously, this is a pretty cool little trick here that I found, and just by watching different YouTubers. I can't even remember who I saw this from, but anyway, enjoy. Fine, hunker down right there. Oh, you're alright. I'm not coming after you. Just calm down. Alright, here we go. Piece of paper, knife, finished ground. A little blood on it here and there. Handle pinned. All that good stuff. I see a couple things, you know, I could do better, obviously. Just a short time. This thing is sharp though. I burned most of my hair off in the forge earlier, but it'll shave your arms just like so. And it's supposed to be the big test here if it'll slice paper. Yeah, it'll slice paper. Alright, test it out tomorrow when the light's a little bit better. It's going down. It's getting really cold out here, so anyway, I guess the ultimate question is, would I trust my life to this knife out in the wilderness? Yeah, absolutely. We'll take it through its paces tomorrow and see how it does. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, please share. Thank you to ppotty for doing the challenge, and hope you all find it somewhat interesting. Anyway, thanks again.